Hey guys, Coach Shiloh if you're here. Today I'm going to be talking to you about goal setting in the wide receiver room and how I go about that process and kind of the questions and mindset you know, ask myself and have my receivers kind of ask themselves as we prepare for the season start. So real quick here, just I give them this form to kind of fill out, think about. You can give them like a day, something like that where you can think about the answers. I want more in-depth answers than just simple, just like yes, no. Kind of want more thought out answers if that makes sense. So just name, graduating year, and then I keep these from year to year to kind of see how your goals have changed. How you change as a person, and how that kind of transposes into the field and other areas of life. Just kind of keep track of that. So here we got name, catches per game, and then you know total catches for the year, total yards, total touchdowns. So these are kind of like numeric goals that you feel would be, I guess, doable for whatever offense or whatever system you have. So like, say if you have like, three catches per game, all right, and say, 10 games, so that's like 30 catches, all right. And say you get what, like 10 10 yards per catch, then you have somewhere around like 300 yards, right? 30 times 10, yep, 300 yards. And then say you get like, three touchdowns. All right, so that's kind of what the whole thing should look like. Also, what I've done is sometimes with my seniors, after a while, when we get established, like from year to year, we kind of go back and look at these, look at your performance from last year, and kind of try to mirror what those stats were. So if you averaged like I don't know, 10 yards per reception last year, we'll kind of use that as a benchmark and kind of compare that to the your current goals. And like these, like there's not a lot you can do to control this. You can get open all the time. You can run your routes all the time, but there's a lot of other stuff dictating how many passes are going to be thrown a game. So that's just one thing to keep in mind. But I think it's still good to have like goals that are quantifiable. In playing. Yep. So here goes like the more like in-depth questions. So like, what is your goal with football, right? Like, so I just want to know like what kind of motivates the athletes or you guys as a player, and like what is keeping you playing? Like, are you just out here to have fun? Are you out here because your friends are doing it? Are you out here because you want to play football at the next level? It could be like a combination of all of those. I just want to see that you put some thought into it more like, oh, just because I want to, right? Second one is why you're playing football and who you're playing for. So it's like similar to the last one, but it's kind of like even more in depth. Is like who's motivating you, like what's that kind of sentimental driving force. Like some people it can be like their parents, or like I want to try to provide for my family by playing ball. It could be like like my dad is a huge support, and has been all throughout my career, and then this one it takes a little bit of like understanding like what aspects go into being a receiver, and then knowing how to improve that, what you need to improve. So I always ask, like, what do you aim to get better at this season and how? All right, just at least pick out one thing. Like, it'd be like, I want to be a better blocker. I want to be a better route runner. I want to understand the offense better, like something like that. Something where you can be like, all right, like I want this as my goal. And then oftentimes throughout the season, you can point back at that and be like, all right, like, how are you trying to meet that goal, right? Like, how's that looking? And with me, in my perspective, you don't have goals. Like, it's all right, but like, you don't have anything to aim for, any like benchmark to kind of set yourself up for, if that makes sense. And then this one is more it's yes or no, but it's just kind of like putting it in the mindset that like, are you willing to take instruction, let me build you, do what it takes, sacrifice to be where you need to be or where like you want to get. So kind of in tandem with this last one, like, all right, if this is your goal, like, are you gonna let me help you get to your goal, if that makes sense. And it's kind of letting them know also, like, Like I will be like, hey, like maybe let's change this a little bit, let's change that. Construction criticism. Try to be positive with it, but at the same time, just let them know like, I'm gonna do what I can to help you get better. And then this one is more, kind of be on the field and just as an overall person. Like, and what is a specific practical way that I can help you become individually better as an athlete, recruit, student, and individual? Like, what are ways you think, I can help you out? Like, whatever you need. If it's helping you out with a drill or like, timing you on your 40 or, prepping you for a camp, like I'm totally down to do stuff like that. Like I want you to succeed. And even as a student, you're a student athlete first. Like if you need, I don't know, some resources to help you with like math class or like tutors and stuff like that, like I'm more than willing to help, find some resources for you, see what we can do to help you out. And then this one I think is super important, like what is your specific plan for after high school? Now, a lot of people, even, when you're like 20s and stuff, you still don't know what you want to do, but I always have the athletes at least come up with a plan of something that like you think would be something you want to do or something you want to enjoy, something you want to kind of like do the rest of your life. And it's not, it doesn't have to be the rest of your life, but like what is your focus for like college or the next steps? And I think that's super important to kind of at least get the ball rolling on that. And that's something also like if I can, I will help, get that kind of going and, provide avenues for that. And then the last one, this is kind of connected to like our group name, so the Sauce Squad. Eventually, we're going to start picking names. So I want you to kind of come up with your top 3 favorite sauces, all right? So kind of keep that in contention with that. And it's just, a little fun question, like what are your top 3 sauces? But that is how I approach, putting goals together for my receivers. Like I said, goals are really good to have. And it almost matches like the SMART goals, like specific, measurable, achievable, all that stuff. So I just think it's good to have these written down so that like you as a coach can go and refer back to them. If someone's having a rough day, a hard time, or, having a hard time taking instruction, and good for the player as well to kind of know what they themselves kind of set out to be. Because a lot of your motivation has to be like intrinsic, like if it's your motivation to get this many yards or this many touchdowns, like that's got to be driven from you, like not necessarily from coaches. Does that make sense? Yeah. Let me know if you have any questions, and feel free to follow me on Twitter, and I'll be putting out new content as much as I can. And yeah, looking forward to hearing from you guys. Thanks.